Narrator. There are places on this earth that seem to hold a permanent chill, where the wind whispers tales of tragedy. One such place is a remote mountain pass in the northern Urals of Russia. 1959, it didn't have a name. Today, it is known as Dyatlov Pass, named after the leader of a group of 9 experienced hikers who journeyed into its icy grip and never returned alive. This is not just a story of survival gone wrong. It's one of the most chilling and baffling unsolved mysteries of all time. In January 1959, 10 students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, set off on a high-level ski expedition. They were all experienced Grade 2 certified hikers with skiing skills, prepared for the harsh conditions. One member, Eerie, was forced to turn back early due to illness. It was a decision that would save his life and leave him haunted forever. The remaining 9 pressed on. From recovered diaries and photographs, their journey started normally. They were laughing, determined, and in high spirits, documenting their progress. On February 1st, they began their ascent of Kholat Syakhl, a mountain whose name, in the local Mansi language, ominously translates to Dead Mountain. They set up their camp on the slope, a decision that experienced mountaineers later questioned, as it was exposed to the elements. And then, something went terribly wrong. When the group failed to return by their scheduled date, a search party was sent. On February 26th, what they found was a scene of silent, frozen horror. The group's large tent was half buried in snow, but it was the damage that was shocking. It had been sliced and ripped open, not from the outside, but from within. It was clear the occupants had fled in a panic, cutting their way out into the sub-zero temperatures. All of their belongings, warm clothes, boots, supplies, and weapons, were left behind. A trail of footprints, some from bare feet, some with only socks, led down the slope towards a patch of woods. It was there under a large cedar tree that the first 2 bodies were found. They were dressed only in their underwear, their hands raw and burned from an apparent attempt to build a fire. 3 more bodies, including that of Igor Dyatlov, were discovered between the cedar tree and the camp. Their positions suggested they had been desperately trying to return to the shelter of the tent. They had died of hypothermia, so far a tragic but perhaps explainable accident. But what the search party found 2 months later, buried under 4 meters of snow in a nearby ravine, changed everything. The final 4 hikers were found here, and their injuries were horrific. One had major skull damage. Another had severe chest fractures, the kind of damage you'd expect from a high-speed car crash. And most disturbingly, one of the women, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her tongue, eyes, and parts of her lips. Yet bizarrely, there were no significant external wounds on their bodies. Something had crushed them with immense force. To deepen the mystery, some of their clothing was found to be radioactive. What could have caused 9 experienced hikers to slash their way out of their tent into a blizzard, half-dressed, and flee in terror? The official Soviet investigation concluded they died from a compelling natural force. A term so vague it only created more questions. Theories range from the rationale to the terrifyingly strange. An avalanche, but investigators found no signs of one, and the tent was not fully collapsed. Katabatic winds sudden, violent gusts. Possible, but it doesn't explain the crushing internal injuries or the missing tongue. Was it a military weapons test gone wrong? This could explain the secrecy surrounding the case and the radiation. Or did they stumble upon something else in the desolate wilderness? The local Mansi people speak of the Menk, a Russian Yeti-like creature. Others point to sightings of strange orange spheres in the sky around that time, suggesting a UFO encounter. To this day, no single theory perfectly explains all the bizarre evidence. The sliced tent, the lack of clothing, the horrific internal injuries without external wounds, the missing tongue, the radiation. It's a puzzle with too many missing pieces. The silence on Dyatlov Pass holds its secrets close, frozen in time with the 9 who lost their lives there. What do you think happened on that frozen slope of Dead Mountain? An act of nature, a secret military operation, or something from beyond our understanding? Share your theories in the comments. If you're compelled by mysteries that defy explanation, hit the like button, share this story, and subscribe to Mystic Shadows for more dives into the abyss of the unknown. Ring that bell, and you won't miss our next investigation.